Hi everyone and welcome back to Scholastically Natalie. Today I'm kind of going for a very loose kind of story structure. You'll have to let me know if you enjoy it or not. Far too many animes recently because for some reason my brain's decided now's a great time to watch them, which is true. But so far I've gotten through Heaven Officials Blessing, which is, cannot wait for that to update. I've done Moriarty the Patriot. I've been interested in that one since I've seen some fan art swirling around on Tumblr, and it looks good. It is good. We got Jujutsu Kaisen, right? And then more recently, I've done Nobles. I really don't know how to say it, which I admit is slightly an issue. What do all these have to do with our video? For some reason, the inside of my throat feels like I've scraped it with a cheese grater. I haven't even talked this much today. I guess I just haven't drunk enough water. So, the thing I wanted to talk about today is kind of the giving out of information in stories, even just for like backstories and whatnot, because I do think the approach to it is really interesting in the anime that I've watched recently, at the very least. I'm sorry, my nose is running. Okay, this weather change is killing me. So, for me at least, I've noticed some interesting and very different ways that they present information in all three of these. I say four of these anime. I finished Nobles today, which is why I'm still not registering it that I've watched it. I binge watched it today. It was amazing. All of these are so enjoyable for such different reasons. So I think definitely the first thing we get with Heaven's Official's Blessing is I keep calling it Heaven's Official Blessing instead of Heaven Official's Blessing, because that's what I thought it was titled rather than what it actually was titled. But so it's interesting because we're looking at how we're involved in the story. And so for Heaven Official's Blessing, we are just watching. So I'm going to put, we're just observing. Sometimes given backstory. But we are shown secrets that the other characters don't know. And I think that's kind of significant in terms of like storytelling, because it's not like we're outright told things, but we're given little hints here and there that this character might not actually be who they say they are. They might actually be this person. I want to say that without spoiling anything. And little nudges and like slight mentions of how these other characters are connected to our main character, Lien? I want to say Lien. Sorry, I again don't want to mispronounce his name. I'm saying Lean because I'm thinking of housing liens, which is not correct. He is Lien. But it's very interesting because not everything is explained outright. And I can't say that I think maybe something was lost in like translation or like the design of like the first episode, because the way they like gave us Lien's backstory without giving us his backstory, I found incredibly confusing. It took me so long to connect the young boy that he saved with Hua Chang. I apologize if that's a spoiler. Spoiler alert? It took me so long because I was initially confused about whether the prince was Lien or whether the boy was Lien, and then I was like, oh, he's not missing his eye, so clearly he's not the boy. It took me a really long time, and the way it was told in third person, I don't know why I found it so confusing. So that's really my only criticism, I think mostly because it was like interspersed with meeting watching, and so for me, it felt like it should be significant, and it was, but I didn't quite get it in that moment. I got it much later. Okay, so then, how are we involved for Moriarty the Patriot? We are kind of along for the ride. Like, we're in on the plot. Sometimes we get to witness it being made. and sometimes we see it play out. Where the invisible, like, depending on how many people are involved in the crime, 6th or 7th member of the squad. Because obviously you don't want to give everything away about the mystery of, like, oh, what's Moriarty going to set up? Oh, or how are they going to finish this? How are they going to, like, trick this person? Like, what are they doing that's so bad? The first episode I got pretty easily. And again, for some of the other later episodes, they do a really good job of showing you the crime being committed, and then, like, having you connect the dots along with them into how everything's connected. Obviously you're a couple steps behind Moriarty, but everyone is. So what I like about it is that you're kind of, like, revel in seeing the well-planned execution and everything go as he wants it to, rather than just, oh, we're finding about it in post-production, essentially. We're not seeing things from Sherlock's point of view until this latest episode, which I also enjoyed. We're seeing things from the person who's setting it upside, and I think that is so fascinating. It's definitely interesting. And then we have Jujutsu Kaisen, which is, I want to say, pretty similar to, like, most of the other shonen stories. Like, it has a lot of similarities to, honestly, how I think of it. It's very similar to, oh no, why have I forgotten what it's called? The one ninja anime that has the Shinra Bancho in it, with the deadpan main character. It's similar to that anime, if I ever remember what it's called. And, Blue Exorcist. And the way it's kind of set up, and, like, this hidden society that you have to, like, be affected by in order to see it. But I definitely think this kind of, like, new incarnation of what is essentially demons, you know, being kind of reimagined is very, very interesting. But how we are kind of set up is that we're just following the main character. Sometimes they trick us. And sometimes we have detours, like Gojo Sensei. But also if we stuck with you all the time, you wouldn't get to see cool fights. But yes, I definitely recommend Jujutsu Kaisen. It's so interesting. The concept of curses in it is so fascinating, because, like, we have, like, the demons as, like, you know, your typical, like, we're evil and we come from hell and, like, all negativity, but the idea of, like, universal fears and hatreds developing living entities, like, that's something you think about a lot. Like, that's one of the many positive ways to create, like, gods and stuff, is if you have a certain amount of people believing in them, that gives them a certain amount of power. So then to have all these things be created because of human fears and human suffering, I think it's fascinating and really cool. So I am very excited to see where that one goes. And then we have Noblesse, which I think, honestly, the first bit when we were watching it, basically this drops us in the action. In media res. There's backstory that we don't get to look at. I honestly thought that I had accidentally started a second season to something, with all the flashbacks to a prior fight where we got to find out about Rai. But I also enjoyed having this complete mystery of who is Rai and why is he important, and we get all these flashbacks to, like, the hints of him being super powerful, but we never have that quite confirmed until quite a few episodes in, which I definitely liked. And then I did enjoy getting to see Franken's backstory. That was neat. Also, the literary references, thank you for that. The crazed Dr. Frankenstein. Stunning, amazing. Okay. So for that one, it's interesting because they play you tidbits of their wiped memories that make you go, oh, wait, have I missed something? But really it's just a way to draw you in, and it kind of like inspires this belief that Rai is very powerful and very all-knowing, and he's pretty much able to do whatever without having to establish that for us. I definitely like that technique. I think it's a very interesting tactic, and it very much works for Noblesse in creating a mystery around Rai and what he does and who he is. And we still have that mystery by the end of the season, because it was only 9 episodes, but that last episode played exactly like a season finale would. So I'm assuming they're done with that season. But it was so just fascinating the way that they like made you curious and invested, because Moriarty the Patriot doesn't inspire a lot of questions. Like, you're kind of like, oh yeah, cool, I want to see Sherlock, I want to see them get into like that fight, and like compete with each other, which is actually also interesting because I really like Lewis out of the entire cast, so like I just want to see more of him. Maybe because he just reminds me so much of Ash from Banana Fish. But yeah, I definitely enjoy it. Also, I found out that I finally noticed in their opening credits that they're animated by Mappa, and I was like, so is the manga style just really similar to Banana Fish, or is it Mappa that's animating them similar to Banana Fish? Either way, I love it. But all the face shapes are very banana fishy. Oh god, that's not even a word. Heaven Official's Blessing, I love it. I love the main character. I love him. I love everybody else. I have a really hard time remembering Chinese names, so I'm trying to get it in my head who is who. I've been trying to work on it, but they really don't say each other's names often either, so I'm kind of like, I've heard the name once or twice and then forgotten it by the end of the episode, and I'm like, oh no, I'm never gonna find out what their name is. Because everybody just calls Leon Your Highness, and I'm like, please call him by his name so that I can remember it. Jujutsu Kaisen, I think the magic system they've designed is really freaking cool. I'm invested in it. I love seeing like the lore that they're slowly building up. I like that they take care to like point some of it out too, because now that we've met Nanami sensei, and we get to see somebody else who's a first class, a sorcerer, they also block their eyes. Oh, I'm so excited for this, because at first I was like, oh no, is Gojo Sensei like a knockoff Kakashi from Naruto? I don't like Naruto. I've seen like the images of Kakashi, and like I've read fan fiction. So I was like, oh no, I hope not. And then the man took off his blindfold, and I was like, who gave you the right to be that hot, sir? I'm offended. But no, I love him. I love Nanami. I love the diversity of characters they have with like in terms of like personality and powers. I stan that the newest lady companion, I forget her name, I'm sorry, she uses a hammer and nails. That's fascinating and really cool. Although, what's up with the panda? What is up with the panda? But no, I've seen so many like similarities and then like distinctions between how all these stories are like set up to draw you in, and they're all so distinct from each other, and all the main characters want such different things that I find it so interesting. I do want to make like a more in-depth video on some of these. I feel like me saying I like Heaven Official's Blessing because of the circular writing and parallelism, and I also really like men with long hair, and all of them are adorable and I love them and I just want them all to be happy. They basically made every single character just make me go, oh, on the inside, and I just want to hug them all. Uh, I love them. But with Murder the Patriot, they definitely have a very interesting social commentary going. They have a lot of classism discussions going. They're a little bit bonky on the head with it, but it's enjoyable. And I definitely find it interesting. Jujutsu Kaisen, it brings me back to Blue Exorcist days, to... What is that anime called? Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna need to Google it. I can picture the cover of it. I'm gonna go crazy. Just that good old shonen fun, except that there's an actual plot. Looking at you, Bleach, who just had repeating arcs. Plot, character development, things don't turn out the way you think they're going to, and that is so much fun. Like, it's legitimately entertaining and fun to see such a well-developed story. I'm just used to, like, kind of like the eternal plot lines, like, like Bleach, Naruto, all the main big animes, some of which I love. Like, don't get me wrong, Bleach I stan. But it's very distinctly making its own way, making its own path. And I really do enjoy that. And the designs are so cool. The dogs get petted, which as they should. I don't know, I think it's really interesting. And then Noblesse, it really did make me feel like I missed a lot of bonding time between the characters. But I also think it's interesting to kind of just drop us in without having to justify every relationship we see. So that was nice. There also was not much voiceover talking, which I liked. And I enjoyed the character designs. I think they're interesting, I think they're funny. I think we could have an anime about the redheaded fighty boy without him even being part of the Noblesse universe. Amazing, stunning, but I love everyone. And I was really happy that what I thought was going to happen by the end happened by the end. Looking at you, Takio and Tao, I love you. The very first time we saw Takio, I was like, please don't kill the guy with the long purple hair. Please don't kill the guy. I have a weakness for men with long purple hair. It might have started with Sinbad. But I don't know. I just have some thoughts. I just have some feelings about this anime that I'm really excited to see more for. Hopefully I won't get too impatient and I can wait for the rest of the anime to come out for this season at least before I start reading the manga. But wish me luck, wish me strength to be able to do this. Anyways, let me know if you like this more like chill style of video. We'll see when I watch this tomorrow if I even want to post it. But I'm thoroughly invested in all of these. Check them out if you're interested in them. Let me know what you think about them. If you've been watching them, let me know. Tell me how you think they are. Anyways, thanks for rolling up. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, leave a like. If you have a comment, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this anime. Tell me what you think about this style of video. Tell me if you think we need to do different styles of videos. Hopefully I'll actually start working on my ability to edit. Just not tonight. But subscribe if you're interested in seeing more from me about writing, D&D, books, occasionally games. I count anime as writing, thank you. If we're talking about the writing structure, maybe we're going to talk about reading if we're talking about actual watching part of them, because we're still going to be analyzing them. And if I have to make another playlist called Let's Watch, I might go crazy. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great night. Scholastically Natalie is